Hola, me llamo AJ. Yo tengo una familia muy larga. Mi familia es muy confusa también. Mis padres son divorciados y tengo nuevos novios. Tengo 4 hermanos, 3 hermanos y una hermana. Ellos tienen 14 años, 13 años, 9 años y 12 años. Mi abuela es un inmigrante de México, pero los otros de mi familia que vive es de los Estados Unidos. La herencia de mi familia es de muchos países, incluyendo Europa, México y Israel. Mi familia es muy interesante. Soy muy emocionado explicar mi familia a tuyo. Damien.
Ah, Gracias, AJ. Hola, yo soy Damien Yazzie. Yo tengo una buena familia con mis padres y mi hermana. Yo tengo mucha familia y relativas en Nuevo México. La razón mi familia y relativos están en Nuevo México es mi familia es Navajo. Navajos vivieron en el sudeste para mucho tiempo. En los 1800, la cultura de Navajos cambió mucho. Muchas tierras de los Navajos estuve robado en noreste Arizona. Muchos Navajos reubicaron con las reservas en sur Nuevo México. Durante este tiempo, Navajos no tienen mucho, pero la cultura ayudó a las personas a vivir en las reservas. En, alright, en los 1860, los navajos volvieron a noreste Arizona. Después del long walk, la vida de las personas regresó un poco, pero el gobierno no gusta la cultura de nativo americanos. Hay mucho oeste influencias que reprimó la cultura de nativo americanos. Las personas pelearon el gobierno y guardaron mucha cultura. En el tiempo hay muchos desarrollos de la cultura. La comida y el arte vive. En mi familia, la historia de los navajos tiene mucha influencia de mi familia. Mis abuelos fueron a los embarques, escuelas y el gobierno toma la lengua de los nativos. Durante la infancia de mis padres hay muchas influencias de occidental y nativo. Mi madre va a decir la historia de mi familia.
La historia de mi familia es muy interesante. Mi abuela de mi papá era una actriz de muchas telenovelas y películas. Ahora ella escribe libros y vive en Los Ángeles. Ella es judía y su mamá es de Israel. Mi abuela de mi papá es de Nueva York y era un hombre que tenga mucho éxito. Él murió antes de que yo nació. Mi abuela de mi mamá es de Juárez. Ella fue a los Estados Unidos cuando ella tengo 2 años y vive en Nuevo México toda su vida. Mi abuela de mi mamá es de Carrizozo en Nuevo México. Mi bisabuela sobrevivió Auschwitz durante la Guerra del Mundo II. Y mi bisabuela Whitfield Johnson era un senador por Nueva York. Mi familia es muy diversidad, pero toda mi familia les gusta el uno al otro y esto es muy increíble. Gracias por su tiempo y espero que te guste mi historia.
From what you know, how long has our family lineage lived on the reservation?
I think everybody was born and raised there. If they ever left the reservation, they always went back. Um, my grandmother, my grandmother was born and raised there on my mom's side, and my dad's side the same as well. They did go off and find jobs, but they ended up, going back home and raising their families. making a home for themselves on the reservation. My parents left the reservation for a little bit, but it wasn't very far from the reservation. It's probably only like 50 miles away from the reservation. They ended up going back to the reservation. Um, so I would be the first one that would have left, and I probably won't go back, but I can't say because I don't know what's going to happen. But you are the first generation of our family to ever have been born and raised off of the reservation. So you are the first generation urban Indian. Everybody else has been living on the res.
I see. Well, very interesting. So could you give a little background on this picture?
So this is my grandmother Pearl Henderson. Her maiden name was Clawnez, and her Navajo name is Najnaba Clawnez. So this was taken, I believe, somewhere in Berkeley, California. Sometime in the 50s, they were giving opportunities to Native Americans to work off the res, just to be able to adapt to Western civilization, because things were changing pretty quickly for them. You know how they were on the res.
Yeah.
You know, it was like not very much opportunity. So to try to educate them, they started taking them off the res. And so anyway, she went to, I believe it was, what I heard was it was Berkeley, California, and she worked as a housekeeper. So while she was there, I believe this is where that picture was taken.
I see. And there's this picture with the rugs. Could you give a little background on that?
My grandmother was a weaver, and she raised her whole family and, to weave. And this is not only just an art, but it was a form of, it was a way she provided for her family as well. It was her livelihood. It wasn't just an art for her, it was her livelihood. So the reason she made so many, as you can see, there are like about 5 rugs here. The family probably made that. The family, as in her kids and her, they made those rugs and they sold it at the nearest trading post, whether it be like in Gallup or Farmington or Tolina, wherever. They actually paid her for this rugs. It was a dealer, a rug dealer. They would buy it at a lower cost, and then they would go sell it out elsewhere, like in Santa Fe, which we actually found one of her rugs in Santa Fe before.
That's right.
So her rugs are they're very beautiful, and they're pretty well known in the community. The style she weaves is the 2 Gray Hills. And what the colors they mainly use are black, white, gray, and brown. And those are natural colors of the sheep. They don't dye them. They don't do anything, because you'll see rugs that have red, yellow, like the Kachinas and stuff like that. She actually, because she raised her own sheep, she sheared the sheep and carded the wool and spun the wool herself. This yarn was probably made from the sheep she raised.
I see.
So.
And here's the last picture. Some background.
So this is a picture of, like I said, this is my grandmother's sister. We called her Grandma Clara. This picture was taken during the puberty ceremony. You can see they have buckets, and looks like there's sticks outside of the buckets, or they're using it to stir what's inside, and it's actually cornmeal. And this will make the cake for the young girl who's coming of age. And in Navajo, it's called a kinafta. And this is just when the girl gets her first period. Everybody has a ceremony for her. It runs 4 days, 4 nights, full of prayers, full of songs. And it's just for her to be a very blessed young woman, to have the success she needs, that she should hope to gain in life. And her family, of course, every family would want their young child to be successful. So that everybody contributes to this. And they say if the cake comes out well, because the cake is baked on the last night. And if it comes out well, then that means the ceremony was a success, which means the little girl will be a success in her adult life. So this coming of age ceremony is very, very important, and everybody not only celebrates it, but they put their heart and soul into it, and they kind of invest their time and their prayers and their hopes and dreams in this child, because it carries on their legacy. So it's an important ceremony.
Definitely. Well, thank you for talking about our family.